Mr. Brown.
Discussed how you can find energy vampires and how you can read the playing field when it comes to energy vampires. They are a real thing. They will suck you of your energy, and just make sure that you are not one of them. If you're a newcomer, The Box, you need to get out of The Box, which is your current reality that you do not like. You need to become an artist of your life. You now have a clean canvas. Given that you've watched the videos previous, you understand that you must create your reality now, that you're not attached to anything. Things are not tethering you down. Your parents are no longer giving you 100% influence, and you can now make your own decision. That now you lean on yourself to figure out what you like and what you don't like. Go try a lot of shit. You've tried a lot of shit. Now you're feeding yourself with self-love because you're doing the things that activate you and give you a sense of purpose. Now, and this is the most important part of getting out of this box, that every decision that you make, you need to be conscious of. And this is where shit gets kind of tricky. What you're gonna realize is when you start to make decisions, you may be falling back into a place of complacency, which just means you're falling back into the old styles and habits that were the basis on which you made other decisions before you've gotten out of your box. Think about breathing, right? When you start to be conscious of breathing, you then try to control your own breathing. I want you to know, when you let yourself go and you become blind to a situation, you are no longer in control, and you divert to the things that you used to, like your old habits. So you must always be conscious of what you're doing, what you're around, and how it's moving you and how it's swaying you. Otherwise, you will be basically sleepwalking. And when you're sleepwalking, you're just gonna follow the rules of whatever is controlling you or what controlled you before. As you create your new reality, understand where you're going and how you're gonna get there. What vehicles are you jumping in to produce a certain outcome? To every situation that you go through, there's an outcome. There's a desired outcome, right? And this is why we spoke about a little while back, that you don't want your desired outcome to be a tangible subject like money. That's not going to sustain you, because it's like you're putting an emotional value onto something that's going to be a byproduct of a higher goal that you should set onto. When you start to go after and start to chase money, you'll lose yourself. Not only will you lose yourself, but you're going to realize once you get there, it's not fulfilling. And so you're going to go really, really fast upwards because the desire is there. But then when you get there, it's not going to be sustainable over a long period of time, which then means you're going to come right back down. And as we spoke about before, the rhythm of Earth is balanced. So when you're going up against and going for something in a desire state, which is almost like a vanity state, because realistically, are you going there because the money is of some great goal that can then change the world? No, the money is something that can change your social status. It can change the way that people perceive you. It can change the way that you operate. Yes, it can change everything, but that's all on a visual standpoint. This does not change the values or the things that you can add towards people's lives besides a tangible object. You don't give a man all the fish. Like, you just don't drop fish onto him. No, you go teach him how to fish so that he can always do it himself. A lot of these videos that you watch, maybe it's me, maybe it's another content creator, they're not giving you the answers to your problem. They're giving you systems and ways and ideals that can help you get out of your own shit. And then as a byproduct of you getting out of your shit, you will then get the things that you want, like the money, like the status, like the thing, but they're not an objective goal that you're going after always at all times. What you have to see and understand is that as you start to go down your own path and create your own canvas, that you must be conscious of the decisions that you're making and not fall asleep as you go after it. You may be bored with what you're doing, and a lot of that may not just be your boredom. It might just be that you're not in the goal or the objective that you should be going after. You need to change your environment. Think about it. If you're in the new box, you've shattered the foundations of your old box, you've jumped into the new reality of a box that you chose, and you're continuing to try to expand and understand yourself and bring light or value to the world in the way that you see fit, comes natural to you, fills your heart, and fulfills your spirit and mind. When you're in an environment that requires or has outside pressures for you to fulfill something, like a capitalistic society, you may then go right back to your old habits because the requirements of the environment that you're in are imposing its forces or pressures onto you. Break that down. I was talking to a buddy about this yesterday. I live in the US. We're bred to be capitalistic mindset, right? It's a capitalistic society, so your mind is bred and built that way if you've been here for long enough. So the way that you operate is going to be very different from a country on the other side of the world that's bred on peace, love, and harmony. Very different. And so your mind and framework, even if you go into a new box, will be built upon that. So when you start to go into these new realms of life that you want to then create a new box, a new reality for yourself, you have to understand that the habits that you had had or were built on will continue to nag at you all the time. You will realize when you speak to people that are from total different demographics and total different environments from you that they operate in a 10 time, like almost a 180 from you. Right? And that may be disturbing, but you have to then take a step back and say, am I sleepwalking and just operating from the same systems that used to control me? As you start to realize that you operating from a standpoint of your old habit, you can then say, stop, take a deep breath, understand the playing field, see where you're just lying down and falling asleep, and see what it's doing to your life and to you. When you start to uproot yourself from an old box, you're going to be surrounded by new people. You're going to be seeing new things. And what you can do is then think that the things that are new to you are wrong. On the contrary, they're not wrong. They're just different. And different doesn't always mean bad, and different can always teach you something. And this is why it's important for you to then think about how you can uproot yourself from whatever box that you've now created and start to build the foundations of what's different into your box. The better you are at understanding and adapting to new situations, new environments, new people, new social circles, new economic system, you will be 10 times better off. Make your mind shift as you start to build your new box, as your foundations are becoming solid. Always be conscious and be aware of what is going on. The more aware you are of what's going on, not only around you, but what you're doing within your own mind, the better off you will be as you start to build and create and expand in this new box that you're living in. This new box is going to force you to be something 10 times different. And as it becomes your new reality and as you form new habits, do not then fall back asleep in places that you think are just concreted. I always have to beg this question out of myself and out of people that I recognize that are similar to me, is that are the fashions that which we operate truly what we want? Does it bring us benefit to continue to always impose our will? Is it what we should be doing? You have to play devil's advocate with yourself always. When you do that, you're allowing yourself to expand. That's the biggest topic when it comes to building a new box or building a new reality for yourself, is being able to expand your mind and being able to expand on the things that you just now brought into your life. Whether that be people, whether that be understanding, whether that be ideals. Always, devil's advocate, always play that with yourself. And if you're not playing that with yourself, have your friends play it with you and beg that question out of yourself and out of the people that you have around you. Is what we're doing fueling the outcome that we want towards a certain specific goal? Are we going down the right goal? Always ask that question. The more you ask that question, the better you will become at understanding your reality and awareness of what's going on around you. It's so interesting when you start to beg that question or when you start to ask that question repetitively, because what you'll realize is that what you're trying to build and what you're standing on, it's deeper than just creating a foundation. It's bigger than you, and you must become free flowing and allowing experiences and things that you're feeling, understanding, seeing, new or old, not to cement you into a new box. Don't allow what you're feeling, what you're going through, the emotional state that comes, good or bad, the physical state, good or bad, the environment that you're in, to cement you. Remember, the idea is to always flow like water. Always, throughout all situations, which means that you can't really hold on to anything new, but you can build. Your old self was solid and firm and you knew. And a wise man knows that he knows nothing. So, as the person that's aspiring to build and become anew, always realize that the state that you want to be in is water-like. Don't hold so tightly onto something that you thought was correct, but release it. And that's why playing the devil's advocate is so important, because then you realize that maybe everything I'm doing and everything I know is not the only answer or the only way. It's just the answer that I'm using right now to then proceed a new answer or get a new outcome, or go to the new place, or or expand my box even further, right? And there will be limitations to the amount that you expand your box. Of course, we're all not perfect. We're all not gonna reach a place of enlightenment before we die. It's just what it is. But the idea is that you're always learning. You're always being able to be a recipient of the things and the places that you're being around. And the only way you can be that, or in the only way that you can get there, is if you become like water and become aware of what you're doing during all instances of your life. Wake yourself up. Wake up. Even when you're walking, no matter where you are, don't even think about it. Wake up. Think. Don't put any specific value on what you're seeing, but understand what it's doing or what you're doing. And is it conducive to the element of being like water, or is it being degrading to you because it's solidifying what you have previously known? Always be aware.
Boy, Mr. Brown.